Why, hello! Hey, YouTube friends, how's it going? All is well up in Saskatoon. You're here at Dee's Creative Corner. My name is Danielle Coleman. I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor. I love scrapbooking, and so do you. That's why you're here. So today we're going to continue with working on my Alberta and BC Harley ride over into the Rockies and all the fun things. But today we're going to be documenting a little city called Drumheller. So I'll just flip you guys over. It's going to be an easy layout, and I got my inspiration from Megan Jacks, and I just kind of put my own little spin on it. Not quite as detailed as hers, but we like to get our pages done, and thank you for all the inspiration out there. So, all right, let's flip over and get started. All right, hello. Like I said, we are going to document our Drumheller. This is also known as the dinosaur capital of the world. It's in the Canadian Badlands, and like I said, we took our Harley through Alberta into a bunch of different cities, and we didn't do a ton of exploring, but we did have to get a few iconic photos. So with the large dinosaur and the beautiful landscapes, and it's just a lot of this trip was the scenery, and this was the start of our beautiful vacation. I did document in our last video, and I went backwards, so this was basically our first stop. And so I have 8 photos, and it's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna be making just a few borders and using our custom cutting circle, and that's about it. So the general layout is going to have 4 photos on each side. Let me just kind of lay these down. And these are 4 by 5. So I matted, all the mats are 4 by 5, and then I just trimmed them down a 1/16 of an inch. And I'll just kind of see where I want the layout to go, where I don't want that up there. Just kind of, it's gonna just be something simple. I did make one this one is a little bit bigger. That's an actual 4 by 6. And then we're gonna kind of go over here. That was right at the beginning. And then these were, maybe I could have the dinosaur down here. So we're just gonna kind of go something like this, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some circles out of this paper. I am working with an old collection. It is the Wide Open Places, and this was from 2022. I have a ton of it left. I'm not sure why I thought I needed so many, but I obviously had great intentions, and now I'm going back into my stash. So anyways, like I said, we're going to make a few circles, and then we're going to pull out our wheat field. This is available again. This was a comeback from a while ago, and it is available. So I'm finally using a tool that I know that CM has. Sometimes it's hard, we have tools and they fly off the shelves and then they don't come back, and I wanted to use something that was available. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to just make a few little borders to go around the circle, because we're just going to take our custom cutting, use a couple circles, and then I'm going to work on these are just it's like a classic cream, and that's different paper. It's real thin, actually. This was Creative Memories from a while ago, and I don't think it's available. And yeah, classic cream. Oh wait, no, it said 2025. I don't know, maybe this was within a promo, but I thought I looked it up and I could. Anyways, that's what I'm using for my base. So let's get started. Let's move the photos aside. We're going to make a few circles out of this paper. We're going to use the blue blade on the outside. It's going to be, we'll make 2 circles because we're going to cut them in half. So I'm just allowing enough room because this will cut the furthest away, and I will just make sure, I always test, make sure that I'll have enough paper. So there's one, and then we'll make another. Put our little teeth in there. These swivel blades are amazing. And easy. There we go. Okay, here's our second circle. And we'll set that aside because we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna have these as our base, and then I'm going to get our 12-inch trimmer and we're going to cut those in half. And I've told you guys before the magic of this trimmer. We just scooch this right up into the little swell opening and it cuts it in half just like that. So there's that one. And I used, this is about, I believe it's a 5.5-inch circle. So that is what the blue blade outside of template number 2, the medium size one. So there's that. And then we'll do something in the lines of this, and then what we're going to do is bring in our wheat field punch. We're going to make a border. We're going to use craft and the beige, and so I'm going to layer these. And if you're not familiar with the CM border, the punches, they have 2 little black lines that you guide the paper in, and then you push it all the way back to the end of the lip here and give it a good punch. And these stay on the page, and then you just guide to the matching design, just like so. We're going to make 2 punches, and then what I'm going to do is, let's get this debris off. And then with the other color, I'm going to end up flipping over the wheat field. Okay, so we'll print that, or punch this, line it up, and just keep on going. I'm so glad they brought this one back. This was one of the fear of missing out. I wish I had got it when it was available, but they brought it back and I was so happy, and I snagged that one up. So there, and we'll get the debris out of here. There. And then, so I wasn't perfect, so I'll just take and trim that little edge off. So you can layer them just as so, but I like when you flip it around, it just gives it more of a dimension and it's not so even. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll cut this one. This one's about 1.5 inches. Get my 12-inch trimmer out. And that's about right up the tallest stem to the end. And that's 1.5 inches. And then this one, I'm going to just, it's going to be about 1 3/4. It's not going to be as long. So there's that. And then we'll adhere those together like this. Okay. And now I'm going to take and change the blade. I'm going to use this decal. These are designer blades to give your edges a fun little effect. And this is the decal. And I'm gonna take and make I'm gonna take just a sliver off. That's just my waist to start it. And then I'm going to make this about this is going to be about 3/8. That's about, there we go. And see, isn't that, give it a cute little design. And then we're gonna adhere that. So let me get our stuff in order. You gotta change this back. How many times have we done that? And so, all right. So I'm gonna go like this. And then what I'm planning on doing is I'll cut these down. I'm just gonna do a quick dry fit and then I'll adhere everything. So I'm gonna cut these down and then they're gonna go on each of these circles that we cut in half. And then I was going to take and use another like 1/2 inch by 5.5, and I'm gonna have a little strip of up on top. Okay, so let's get our photos back here. And I did make one off camera. This is gonna be on the top so you can see how it looks put together. I just left like 1/16 of an inch of the cream showing on the bottom. So we're gonna have that. And I'm not gonna do a title just because this was the sign coming into the city. So I figured that would work out good. And so we'll just lay these down again and just to get an idea of what I'm thinking. Just like so. And then these two can go up here. And then we're gonna, and like I said, we're just gonna take a little sliver and put it at the end of each of those. So hold on, I'm going to adhere everything and I will be right back. Okay, so I have everything adhered and I was looking at it, and you guys know I'm a simple and easy scrapbooker and we like to get our pages done, and I think I'm just, I'm gonna just leave it as is. I'm not gonna add anything. I know it's relatively boring. I wasn't going to do this one on video, but I just thought I would do a quick and easy one and little inspiration from others that I can bring to you. So in all, I made 3 of the borders, and I have just a half of one left. And I told you guys these were 4 by 5s. They're 4 by 5.5, the photos. And then I cut, these are 3/4 by 5.5, and I just tucked them alongside the edges. So it kind of gives you the illusion of one solid paper, but obviously you don't see, you can tell it's not, because I didn't put those photos together. And it's just an idea for you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I know I'm sometimes not the most entertaining and the most design orientated. I always say comparison is the thief of joy, and I can't compare myself to designers and all those beautiful artists out there. So I want to continue, and I enjoy this little hobby of mine, and it's not my business. I would love, if you don't have a Creative Memories advisor, you could always shop with me. I don't usually give the plugs, but I appreciate you guys watching. So let's flip back over to me, and let's see here. Why, there we go. We didn't get a black screen. So all right, I told you guys it was a quick and easy, and that's my motto. Get them done. Sometimes less is more. We don't have to over embellish and over put our doodads and all that fun stuff. And I think sometimes we can just have simple pages, and that's mostly what I do. I do have some elevated and fancier pages that I do, but I don't always record them. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on and do this quick one, and we'll see what next week brings us. Until then, have a great day or night whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye-bye for now.